Hi everyone, Bill Spain here with GDCA. Thanks for spending a few minutes with me today to discuss how to recognize a good part sustainment plan from a bad one. As many of you know, I often work with customers who are considering a variety of options to help support the life of a discontinued electronics part. They frequently treat sustaining an obsolete part as they would for an active production part, which is where most of the trouble really begins. They often migrate to and settle on a parts pre-stock option for a high-risk part that they think represents an immediate short-term threat to the sustainment objectives. While this may seem to be a sensible approach to mitigating their risk, it really is short-sighted and regularly leads them down a path of chasing one obsolete part after another. This occurs because most fail to recognize that today's readily available part will most certainly become tomorrow's no bid short with no real cost-effective or readily identifiable replacement. This approach is the #1 reason customers typically suffer when considering their best options for a good part sustainment strategy. Simply put, a well-rounded plan incorporating best practices with sound execution is the best, most effective way to avoid part shortages, including the sure-to-follow price increases that accompany them. Remember, it really is more than just the parts. But first, let's take a look at how sustaining an obsolete part differs from an active production part. As this slide illustrates, there really are clear and important differences when comparing the procurement and sustainment of obsolete parts. For example, with RFQs, quoting is much longer because of parts scarcity and the sourcing that goes along with finding them. In parts procurement, as a customer, you must be aware of the nuances using alternate NFD sources for discontinued components and the considerations that need to be made to use them reliably. This is much different than procuring through franchise or manufacturer direct channels. Following customer flowdown requirements and quality notes are critical to ensuring successful procurement outcome when using NFD suppliers. However, the most important objective is assurance and the distinction that needs to be made when supporting an obsolete part over an active production part. Active parts are readily available and with predictable pricing, allowing procurement to be relatively straightforward, making parts assurance for the most part a non-factor. In the environment of obsolescence, however, the supply chain is immediately constrained and becoming more so by the day. Assurance here is the most important and has to be considered to protect yourself from parts shortages, high prices, and the real risk of counterfeit exposure. And the parts are just one aspect of this work. Maintaining a reliable manufacturing process, supporting the test equipment, and maintaining the line for follow-on manufacturing are all important factors to consider in order to have a good part sustainment plan outcome. So how do you build a good part sustainment plan? You consider each of these plan elements and work with a partner who is expert in supporting this work. For example, GDCA has over 30 years of experience manufacturing and sustaining discontinued electronics. We do this across unique customers and industries. GDCA has a successful history supporting defense primes, military customers, telecommunications companies, transportation, semiconductor firms, health and medical companies, and many more. We are ISO 9001 2015 certified, RoHS compliant, ITAR compliant, DO 254 certified, and an FAA certified repair station. We start by gathering your requirements for the immediate term, as well as collecting data for future demand. And based on these requirements data, we build forecast and pricing models that allow you to guarantee access to these parts for as long as you may need them. We make the plans flexible to account for changes without requiring MOQs and cancelable at any time without financial penalty. These plans are affordable and certainly less expensive than costly system redesign or reverse engineering efforts. And customers can pay as they go for these plans or incur additional savings by considering multi-year support plans. The customer makes the best decision that serves them, and that's the way it should be. Good sustainment plans save money, save time, and eliminate costly engineering or system replacement alternatives. Let's briefly summarize. Remember, obsolete cards are just simply harder to sustain. And sustainment plans are essential to support obsolete cards beyond a single ordering event. Part sustainment plans must be sufficient to support your program needs, and please partner with people who know this terrain well and have the experience to help you navigate the road of obsolescence to build reliable sustainment programs. I truly enjoyed speaking with you today, and thank you for spending a few minutes with me to cover this important topic. Please be safe and, of course, be well. Thank you.